Hello and welcome back. Once again, it's time for the golden age of DC Comics. 365 days where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me by one of my best friends about 2 decades ago. It's been surfing my coffee table ever since, and it's a constant source of inspiration to have these comic book shop style conversations once a day, and every day for the rest of the year with you right here, right now, today. We're going to use this book for its intended purpose. Going to crack it open to today's date, which is July the 24th. And we're going to look at some comic book art. We're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books, because we talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. We're going to do it. And thank you so very much for tuning in. This is an Abrams publication, 2004 hardcover coffee table book, curated and edited and compiled by Chip Kidd, Geoff Spear, and Les Daniels. There is a link to the Amazon page in the description here if you want to pick up your own copy. It would look great on your coffee table, and it makes a great gift for a geek. I know that for a fact. I like to start off the show with something very important to me. It's called the escapism caveat. I firmly believe that activism is important, that activists are important people, and that, they are literally trying to save the world. And but they have a space, they have a place. And what is equally as important to activism is escapism, that we need to forget this world's problems just for a few moments in a day. It's the reason why we're gravitated to fiction and sports. It just transports us, and that we don't think about the world's problems. Those problems be waiting for us when we get back from our imaginations and our emotional journeys here. And but the activists are turning into bullies lately, and they'll label you as a bigot or an ist or a phobe if you don't go along with their changes. I kind of see them at this point as intellectual conquistadors, a colonialism. That, there was a pre-existing space with a population that had a history, that have beliefs, a shared mythology, and mores. And that our spaces are being intruded upon. Gaming, sports, comic books, sci-fi, and that the activists will use like dirty deeds to get their deeds done. I just like... Yeah, you're taking advantage of us and trying to use us as a platform. And no, we need escapism and our fictions that we love. And they're beloved to us. And that's why we feel the way we feel when it comes to standing up to the encroachments. And the world's big enough for all of us. And they're both equally important. Does the activist respect the fan sites? No, it's just a means to an end for them. But we can respect the activists, and that's how we're gonna, stand our ground. You know what I mean? And that's that. So God bless all of us. Let's get to this book, please. It's July the 24th. We haven't come across this pair yet, and it's a good excuse to talk about the changing within the age and how the story narrative shifted a bit. Let's talk about this. It's July the 24th. This is art by Gil Kane, who is one of the Silver Age masters. So this is a young Gil Kane at the end of the Golden Age. This is from the cover of All-Star Westerns, number 82. April-May cover dated 1952. It's something about the Rawhide River, and you have these two frontiersmen in the river, and they're being chased by wolves, and there appears to be a forest fire in the background too. They're escaping some kind of inferno from the other side of the river, and once they've achieved what they thought was safety, wolves, hungry wolves. Let's read the blurb. That's art. That's interpretation. That's like, that's looking at someone's art. How much story you can just pick up from the visual cues with a minimum of narrative or dialogue. Isn't that cool? And let's read the blurb. And this is an adventure of the Trigger Twins. We're gonna learn a little bit about the Trigger Twins and what became of the JSA, the Justice Society of America. A flood, a forest fire, and a fanged ferocious beast are all in a day's work for the Trigger Twins as they attempt to unravel the riddle of the Rawhide River. Well, when you have two heroes, you're entitled to give them twice as much trouble. This was the first issue of All-Star Western to carry the seal of the CCA, the Comics Code Authority, inaugurated in 1955 to counter charges that lewd and lurid comics were corrupting kids. That's worth them. And that's the CCA and the impact on comics and on culture. The CCA was one of the things that brought in the Silver Age. The Comics Code Authority recognized. Let's get an old comic book. We got an old comic book here somewhere. No, these are all post-code. Yeah, they dropped the code as well in the 21st century here. Yeah, none of these are all modern comics, and none of them have the comics code. I have some funny. We have funny books around, usually. Let's see. How about these ones? Nope. That's fine. Sorry about that. I actually have comic books around at all times. This is a comic book show, yeah? Hello. But the Trigger Twins, this is All-Star Comics that had the JSA, the Justice Society of America, that started in the summer of 1940. All-Star Comics #1 went from it was cover dated summer of 1940. Yeah, that included the Golden Age Flash, Hawkman, Ultraman, Hourman, Spectre, and Sandman. That became All-Star Western in 1951. They changed direction of the magazine. They kept its numbering, but they changed it from All-Star Comics to All-Star Western. And they did not have any more stories about the JSA. It now became focused on the Western. It was 1951. Television were in homes. The Westerns began growing in popularity. And it's also what the Overstreet Price Guide refers to as like the subset or even independent of the Golden Age, that they list in the Price Guide itself the Atom Age. The Atom Age runs between 1945 and 1955. Therefore, by definition, in Overstreet, the Golden Age runs between 1938 until 1945, the advent of the atom bomb and the end of World War II and the beginning of the space race. And I find that to be interesting because more people, I feel that the Golden Age, when is en masse, like as culturally as comic book fans, when we mention the Golden Age, we usually think of it as 38 through 1955. And with the Comics Code Authority in 1955 and Showcase #4 introducing the Silver Age Barry Allen, the Flash, that was the dividing line between the Golden and Silver Ages. And All-Star Western was a big part of that. Yeah, it was the first to voluntarily adopt the seal. I mean, it became an industry standard, a self-regulation. The publication industry said, like, no, we have to adopt this standards. And to get in, Jake with the Parents, they were in trouble. There were horror comics like Tales from the Crypt that were just so gruesome, and which were the inspiration for Twilight Zone in a way too. But something such as Tales from the Crypt and its ilk were so the creepy comics and the Warren comics and those EC comics, and just they really are grotesque. Even I have a collection of them, and I would like to read more. They're very creepy. They're very grotesque, and I can see where the CCA symbol, that seal of approval, came from. Yeah, it's but that also got dropped as well. Mostly Marvel did it first in the early 21st century, and I believe by the New 52, DC had pretty much given up on that as well, even before that too. I'm pretty sure. I could look it up, but you know what? It's time to wrap this show up. The Trigger Twins, though, I mean, they were the stars of all-star westerns, and that ran bi-monthly until number 119 in July of 1961. And then it had other heroes such as Johnny Thunder and Madame 44, the masked outlaw queen. And it got a revival in September of 1970, and also it got a New 52 treatment as well. Speaking about the New 52, there was a New 52 All-Star Western that ran from 2011 to 2014. I wonder if that's worthy to look up and check out. The New 52 by DC was much maligned. Yet there are a few gems, such as the Scott Snyder Great Capullo Batman, of which I enjoy the entire run. Even the Jim Gordon stuff, I really, really dug that. It was fun. There was the Azzarello Chiang Wonder Woman that was really mature and violent and gritty, and there was the Action Comics with Grant Morrison and Rags Morales. I have all of that. I thought that's such an interesting Superman story because he had to tinker with Superman, so this is what he did. And I might not like the look of New Superman, a New 52 Superman, yet I did like the Superboy look of the jeans and t-shirt. I thought that was fun, and not traditional, but like really fun. And that was what the New 52, I guess, was trying to do. But yeah, changes happen in comic books all the time. From what was the springboard of the superhero action team that we take for granted today with JLA and Avengers, started in All-Star Comics, and it got replaced because another trend came along. And those stories needed the focus. Those stories were going to get the metrics and the ad dollars, that the superhero stories just weren't getting. So by this Atom Age that Overstreet quotes, that's where the superhero stories start to fade. They'll be back by 1956 and definitely by the early 60s as well, that's when the Silver Age hits its stride, when Marvel steps onto the scene. But hey, we have been talking about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. I would love to earn your subscription. Like and subscribe. Turn on those notifications. Ring that bell. We make daily content here. I talk about cooking. I'm a professional chef. I am called the Sultan of Soup for a reason. Check out my videos. I'll put it into the playlist thing, in the window. I'm a spiritual guy. I make spiritual content. We talk about gratitude, make gratitude lists. I try to enjoy my mornings. I see bunnies eating their breakfast on the lawn, so I try to make shorts of cute nature moments. And also, if it's a clear morning and there are planets in our sky, I do something called #NakedEyeSky. So something to check out. I love, I did. Oh, look, Mars looks red this morning. It's out there for you to see too. So pay it forward. Thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and we will see you again tomorrow. God bless. Good luck. Namaste. Cheers.